So let's bring it back. Enough about me. Let's talk about you. Ideas. How many of y'all have had an idea and not acted on it, and then maybe a month later or a year later, you find that on TV they have that same idea as a product? Has that happened to anybody? Okay. And not too many other people. Okay. Well, why do some people come up with ideas and other people come up with ideas and move forward with them? There are a couple reasons, but the one I want to talk about today is that you get this idea, and to some extent, you self-edit yourself. Okay? You get this idea, and you think it's a good idea, but then you're like, oh no, I couldn't do that, or that's not something that I can accomplish. That's something that someone else does, because this world is so big. There's so many talented people, and I'm just someone living it. You hear the word no over 100,000 times before the age of 18 growing up. Okay, they did a study. Over 100,000 times. So if you hear no from your parents, from your friends, from your brothers, from your sisters, after a while, it starts to sink into the way that you think. So you start thinking no, and to some extent, your rational mind starts telling yourself no. Okay? So when you think of an idea, saying, no, that's not a good idea. What I'm saying is, if you want to be entrepreneurial, you have to kind of ignore that. Okay, you have to respect what your mind is telling you, but you have to ignore it, you have to push forward with it if you really feel it's a good idea. So everybody has a piece of paper, right? And a pen? Either one of my pens or someone else's. Okay. So, what I want you to do, in case you don't believe me about this whole self-editing thing and really being afraid of what people think of your ideas, what I want you to do is take some time, and preferably someone you don't know in the audience, I want you to turn to them and do a quick sketch of them. So just draw a quick picture of them. Okay? So I'll give you about a minute to do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Someone you don't know. Oh, okay. My name's here. I'm just going to go. Got to show this picture to the person. We were afraid what they were going to say. Maybe not really afraid, but you had that thought in the back of your mind, like, man, I hope they don't hate this, or I hope they don't hate me. You know? That's really what ideas are all about. You have ideas all the time, and you're afraid to bring them out into the world because you're afraid what people are going to think of them. So you really have to get into this mindset of, okay, I'm not going to care what people think about it. I'm not going to care what people think about my ideas. And it's much easier said than done. Don't get me wrong. This is a lifelong process that I've gone through, but I've become aware of it over about the past year. But I've really gotten to the point where, I know my ideas, and I know what I like, and I know what I don't like, and I'll take feedback from people outside of myself, but in the end, it's what I want to do, and it's what I like. So really try to get into that mindset. When you have an idea, don't let yourself shoot it down, and don't let anyone else shoot it down, okay? Think I can relate these two? I bet I can. Okay. Smoking and entrepreneurship. I'm actually kind of a psychology buff. I find it really interesting. We have any psychology nerds in the house? Yeah. One. Keep your hands raised. Just be proud of it, right? Don't care what people say. Don't let people judge you, right? Okay, cool. I'm a psych nerd, and one of the most valuable terms that I've learned in psychology is called cognitive dissonance. Who knows what cognitive dissonance is? Okay, a little bit. All right. The way I interpret it is that you have two conflicting beliefs held in your head at the same time. Okay? Two conflicting beliefs. It's kind of like you're in the middle, okay? And naturally you're going to want to go to one side or the other side, but you can't stay in the middle. So let's take smoking, for instance. I have a belief that I want to live a long and healthy life. That's one of my beliefs. My other belief is that I want to smoke cigarettes, and I believe that I smoke cigarettes, and I believe that they are going to shorten my life. So on the one hand, I want to live a long and healthy life. Other hand, I believe that smoking is going to shorten my life. Yet I'm going to smoke cigarettes. See how those conflict? Okay. Now something is going to change. Right now you're at this decision point. Something's going to change. Either you will decide you don't want to live a long and healthy life anymore and keep on smoking cigarettes, or you're going to stop smoking cigarettes and live a long and healthy life. Or maybe you're going to rationalize and say, okay, cigarettes aren't that bad. They're probably not going to kill me. It's not going to make too much of a difference in my life, so I'm going to keep on smoking cigarettes while wanting to live a long and healthy life. And I'm going to change that belief, thinking, okay, cigarettes aren't really that bad for me anyway. Okay? But do you see how you can't have these two conflicting beliefs? It has to change. Okay? This is a very, very important point. Okay? It's a very powerful point. Let's relate this back to the situation you're in right now. So right now, you're in the orientation for the MSE program. I was in your same exact shoes about 2 years ago. At that point, I had two beliefs. Belief number one is that I am not an entrepreneur, nor am I ready to be an entrepreneur. Truth. I really didn't think I was ready to be an entrepreneur. Okay. Belief number two was, damn, I'm doing an MSE program. I'm going to have Masters in Entrepreneurship on my resume. I guess I am ready to start a company, or at least I should be ready to start a company. Two conflicting beliefs, right? So at this point, I have this decision to make, and you all have a decision to make as well. So that decision is, am I going to maybe drop the MSE program? Am I going to half-ass it and maybe put in a little less effort than is required to go through this program? Or on the other side, am I going to make this firm commitment to myself that I am an entrepreneur and I'm going to do everything that backs up that belief? I went with the latter. I just ignored the fact that I wasn't ready to be an entrepreneur, got that belief out of my head, and started focusing on, I'm an entrepreneur now. How am I going to get to the point where that is manifested in my reality? Okay? And when you know it, a month later, I started a company. It just happened to happen. Okay, what better way to prove that I'm an entrepreneur than to start a company, right? So it just happens. This is, once again, a very powerful tool to understand yourself, but also a very powerful tool just in goal setting in general. How many of y'all have goals? Okay, keep your hands raised if you have written goals. Keep your hands raised if you have written goals that you review on a regular basis. Okay. Well, one of the big things about goal setting is it's this use of cognitive dissonance. If I want to be a millionaire, I don't have that goal yet, but I set a goal of being a millionaire. If I really start believing that I am a millionaire or I'm going to be a millionaire, then I'm also going to start doing things to reach that goal. Because right now I just don't feel right because I'm in the middle because I'm not a millionaire. If I start believing that, cognitive dissonance pushes me towards that millionaire mindset. Okay? So use it as a way to motivate yourself. Okay? Cognitive dissonance. Smoking and entrepreneurship. I think I relayed that. Aww. Any guesses on what this means?
He broke his neck.
What?
He broke his neck.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. But, how many of y'all have ever heard the term bonsai kitten? Okay. So bonsai kitten is basically a way to keep the cats really small because they keep them in this jar. It's really awful, actually. If you look it up online, I guarantee you will feel that feeling in your stomach, that it's just that nasty feeling because they do awful things to these cats in Asia. Didn't mean to end this on a downer kind of point, more an upper kind of point, which is, okay, the cat is here, it's stuck inside this jar, therefore it cannot grow outside of the shape of the jar. You with me so far? Well, yes.
Yes.
Good, okay, thank you. So, I personally believe that from day one when we're growing up, we are in a jar, okay? We're in a jar. This is kind of going back to this kind of distance thing too. We're in a jar of what our parents believe, what our brothers believe, what people we deal with on a daily basis believe. So if they kind of build this framework of, everyone knows how a lot of families that have doctors in the family have doctors as kids growing up, they become doctors, right? There are a lot of reasons for that, but one reason is that it kind of shaped their mindset, saying, okay, you are a doctor, and they put you in this little bottle, you know? I believe that entrepreneurship, a big part of that is breaking out of that bottle, whatever